On the morning of January 26, 1966, Australia Day, a mother handed her 3 children some money for the bus. She watched them walk down the street. She never saw them again. Jane Beaumont was 9 years old. Arna was 7. Grant was 4. They were going to the beach. It was a 5-minute walk from their home in Glenelg, South Australia. They had done it dozens of times before. The beach was crowded that day. Hundreds of people were there. And yet, 3 children vanished in broad daylight without a single witness coming forward, without a single trace ever found. No bodies, no evidence, no answers. 58 years later, this case remains unresolved. And Nancy Beaumont were an ordinary family living in the quiet suburb of Glenelg, a beachside town near Adelaide, South Australia. Jim worked long hours. Nancy stayed home with the children. By all accounts, they were a happy, normal family, the kind that trusted their neighborhood, trusted their community, trusted that their children were safe. And why wouldn't they? Glenelg in 1966 was exactly the kind of place people moved to raise a family. The streets were safe. The neighbors knew each other. Children played outside until dark without anyone worrying. Jane was the oldest. 9 years old, responsible, mature for her age. She had taken her younger siblings to the beach before. Many times, Nancy trusted her completely. That morning, Nancy gave Jane some money, enough for the bus fare home. The children left the house at around 10 a.m. They were supposed to be home by noon for lunch. Noon came and went. Nancy waited. She assumed they had missed the bus and were walking home. She was not worried yet. By 3 p.m., she was worried. By the time Jim came home from work that evening, his 3 children had been missing for hours, and nobody, not a single person in that crowded beach town, could tell them where their children had gone. Police began piecing together the last known movements of the Beaumont children almost immediately. What they found was both reassuring and deeply unsettling. The children had arrived at Colley Reserve Beach at around 10:15 a.m. They were seen by multiple witnesses, playing in the water, laughing, doing exactly what 3 children at the beach on a public holiday should be doing. But then, something changed. A witness reported seeing the 3 children with a man. He was tall, slender, blonde hair, somewhere between 30 and 40 years old. He was seen playing with the children in the water, throwing them around, laughing with them, for an extended period of time. More witnesses confirmed it. This man spent a significant amount of time with Jane, Arna, and Grant that morning. And then, at around 12 p.m., the children were seen at a local milk bar, not far from the beach. Jane bought meat pies and pasties with money that was not the money her mother had given her. She had more money than she should have had. Someone had given them money. That was the last confirmed sighting of the Beaumont children. They never boarded the bus home. They never arrived back at their house. The blonde man was never identified. What followed was one of the largest manhunts in Australian history. Thousands of leads were investigated. Hundreds of suspects were interviewed. Police searched the beach, the surrounding suburbs, every conceivable location. Nothing. The description of the blonde man was broadcast across Australia. His face, sketched by a police artist from witness descriptions, was on the front page of every newspaper in the country. Nobody came forward to identify him. A psychic named Gerard Croiset, flown in from the Netherlands at enormous expense, claimed the children were buried beneath a warehouse in Paringa Park. The site was excavated. Nothing was found. In 1968, a man named Arthur Stanley Brown was charged with the murder of 2 young girls in Queensland. His physical description matched the blonde man almost exactly. He was investigated extensively in connection with the Beaumont case. He was never charged. He died in 2002, taking whatever he knew to his grave. In 2013, a convicted child killer named Bevan Spencer von Einem, already serving life in prison for the murder of a teenager, became a prime suspect. Investigators believed he may have been connected to multiple child disappearances in South Australia during the 1960s and 1970s. He has never confessed to the Beaumont case. He remains in prison today, and the children have never been found. There are details in this case that investigators and true crime researchers have turned over for decades, details that suggest this was not random. First, the money. Jane Beaumont bought food at the milk bar with money she did not have when she left home. The blonde man gave them money. In 1966, that was how predators gained the trust of children. Small gifts, small acts of generosity, building trust over time. But this suggests the man had spent enough time with these children that morning to make them comfortable enough to accept money from him. That takes time. That takes deliberate effort. Second, Jane's behavior. Multiple witnesses noted that Jane seemed relaxed and happy in the company of the blonde man. She was not frightened. She was not trying to get away. Jane was 9 years old and described as mature and responsible. She was not a child who would have gone off with a stranger easily, which means either she knew this man from somewhere, or he was extraordinarily skilled at making children trust him. Both possibilities are deeply disturbing. Third, the letter. In 1966, Nancy Beaumont received a letter. It was unsigned. The writer claimed to know where the children were. They described details of the children that had not been made public, details that only someone who had been with them could know. Police investigated the letter. They were never able to identify who wrote it. Was it the man who took them? Was it a cruel hoax? To this day, nobody knows. Fourth, the 2013 excavation. Based on new information from a witness who claimed to have seen suspicious activity decades earlier, police excavated a property in Castilloy, a former manufacturing site in Adelaide. They dug for days. They found nothing. But investigators noted that the site had been significantly disturbed over the decades, possibly deliberately. Jane Beaumont would be 67 years old today. Arna would be 65. Grant would be 62. Jim Beaumont spent the rest of his life searching for his children. He died in 1995, never knowing what happened to them. Nancy Beaumont lived until 2019. She was 90 years old. For 53 years, she woke up every single morning not knowing where her children were, not knowing if they had suffered, not knowing if they were still alive somewhere, grown adults with families of their own, or if they had died on that beach in 1966. She gave interviews over the decades. She was always composed. She was always dignified. But in one interview, she said something that has never left me. She said, "I just want to know. That's all." After everything, after 53 years of waiting and wondering and hoping, she just wanted to know. She died without an answer. 3 theories have persisted over the decades. Theory 1. The blonde man acted alone. He was a predator who targeted children at the beach, someone with the patience and skill to gain their trust over several hours. He took them somewhere that has never been searched. His identity has never been confirmed. Theory 2. Bevan Spencer von Einem was responsible, either alone or as part of a group of predators known to have operated in South Australia during this period. This theory is supported by South Australian police but has never been proven in court. Theory 3. The children are still alive. Over the decades, multiple people have come forward claiming to be one of the Beaumont children, or claiming to know someone who is. Every claim has been investigated. None has ever been verified. I'm not going to tell you which theory to believe. What I will tell you is this. Somewhere in Australia, or somewhere in the world, there is a person who knows what happened to Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont on January 26, 1966. Maybe it's someone who saw something and was too afraid to come forward. Maybe it's someone who has been living with this secret for 58 years. Maybe it's the man himself. If you know anything about the Beaumont children, the Australian Federal Police tip line is still open. This case is still active, because until those 3 children are found, this case remains unresolved. If this story affected you, that's the right response. 3 children, a crowded beach, and a man nobody has ever been able to name. What do you think happened to the Beaumont children? Leave your theory below. The comment section is yours. If you want more cases that the world forgot or never wanted to remember, subscribe to Unresolved. New case every week. I'm Unresolved, and we're just getting started.